Hey everyone, we've got an exciting episode today as I break down how narrative has changed throughout the years recently and how it's impacted us as level designers. Hey everyone, I hope you're well, playing and making the games that you all love. You're joining me, your host, level design freelancer, senior level designer Max Purs. God, it feels so strange to do the extra intro. I don't know if I'll remove that for future episodes, so forgive me on this one time for that one. I hope that you're all well. I hope that your loved ones are safe. So thank you very much for taking the time out of your day to listen to this episode, whether it be morning, evening, or night. But first, let's have a quick word from today's sponsor. Today's sponsor is none other than me. What I've done, everyone, and I hope you're excited for this, is I've actually created a level design kind of store. What I've done in this store is put up different kinds of tips and tricks that you can find there, whether that be my actual ebook itself to that of level design pamphlets focused on different things such as traversal, stealth, breaking into the industry, as well as different talks that I have done which you cannot find anywhere else other than on this store. So if you are looking to improve on your level design skills and processes, then check out the Level Design Store, which will be down in the description below, where there'll be a link to find this. All you need to do is head over to gumroad.com/level design lobby. I hope you like what you see, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts. Thank you, and now back to the show. Thank you very much. And while recording this, I think GDC is just wrapped up. I was not able to attend, and I'm envious. I wish I could have gone. I'm sure like many of you out there as well. So I look forward to hearing more of the talks out there. I was speaking to Evan Hill, who gave a talk on when he designed the Last of Us 2 mission, in which we relive Joel and Ellie's flashbacks through the what's the word I'm looking for here? I believe it's the museum, that's it. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that one when it gets put up online as well, since I got to read some of it as Evan was kind enough to share it with me. So yeah, for those who did attend, I hope you had a great time as well. And if there's any other talks that you saw that are worth checking out, please just let me know and let us know in the comments so we're aware of them when they come out as well. Very excited to see more of that good stuff. This one is going to be a little bit quicker simply because as the time recording this, I'm getting ready to head over to Venice just for a weekend. It'll be a nice weekend trip. Looking forward to seeing Venice. The last time I was in, where was I? It was Rome I was in when I was in Italy, and that was years and years ago now. But I'm looking forward to seeing that and really seeing this beauty of the city, which is talked about so much and sadly going to vanish at one point, which is a very sad and weird thing to think about for it. But yeah, no, there's going to be some fun ones for that, and yeah, I'm really excited to see more on that one. Trying to think what else is really happening on my side for like a preamble ramble before we get into the episode. Not much. Oh, I've been playing a few older games. I've been booted up. Currently on partway through Final Fantasy IX. Played a bit of, let me get this name correctly, Onimusha Warlords. I don't know if you remember that. It's kind of a prequel to Dark Souls, honestly, in my opinion. It was such a hard game back when I was a kid. I really shouldn't have been playing it as a child when I got that up on Steam. And yeah, I've kind of been playing through some of the elder stuff, and this is one of the reasons that actually triggered this thought process for this episode. Not only that, I've recently been speaking with that of previous alumni, Inori, and she recommended a book to me, and I can't remember the name of the book right now, just 2 seconds. That was the name, Dramatic Storytelling and Narrative Design, a writer's guide to video games and transmedia. This was written by Ross Berger, is Berger, Yeah, I believe that's how I pronounce it. I'm sorry if I've messed that up there, Ross. But yes, I finished reading that book about a few weeks ago. Not too long. It's funny when you go through. I know I have a Kindle. You go through it and you realize there's so many books you've still yet to read. I'm currently reading through Psychology of Final Fantasy right now, which I've enjoyed. Anyway, side topic on that one.
At Level Design Lobby, we believe everybody has a story to tell. Hobbyist or student, freelancer or veteran, we made it our mission to unite those who share our passion for creating and developing great games. Thanks to our generous Patreon backers, we've been able to do just that. So if you've already pledged your support, thank you. If not, you too can ensure the future of Level Design Lobby, helping us to create even more exciting content, collaborations, interviews, and much more. With awesome perks and rewards, whether you're a seasoned professional or just getting started, you're sure to find something for you. Want to share tips, tricks, and advice with passionate, like-minded developers? Our awesome community Discord has you covered. Fancy practicing your level design, creating strong portfolio content, and having fun? Then try our level design weekends. Or perhaps you want to individually discuss your work, hone your skills, or level up your career? Then consider our one-on-one mentorships. If you share our vision, then go to patreon.com/Level Design Lobby for more information and to pledge your support. Thank you.
But it got me thinking, as I said, playing through these older games as well, how storytelling has changed throughout our media and how what once was really engaging has kind of not felt as important as it once did. And when I say as important, it doesn't mean that the work's not important. It doesn't mean that these elements or forms of storytelling are not as important. It almost feels like the way that we deliver these stories has changed drastically and dramatically over the last few years. And the one that I'm talking to or referring to is that of cutscenes. I remember being so excited as a kid, working through to get to the next cutscene in order to get the story. But now, it almost feels like it's not that they're not important, it's not that they're not needed, but the way we deliver stories seems has changed so much. If you look at now Elden Ring or any of the Blood Souls example, there is some cutscenes in there, but in terms of how they deliver the story, most of their story comes from environmental storytelling, but also that of audio clips or notes related to items. If you're looking to gain even more information, to a point where a lot of people, and a long time myself included, I mean, I don't think that, or should I say, weren't praising them for their storytelling because they were looking and using them in a very different way. And I've recently just started Psychonauts 2 as well. They're playing through too much, if anything. But they had the same kind of pacing. This is very early on in the game. It may change later. As that of Onimusha Warlords. And what I mean by that is, especially at the very start of the game, you will go through, do maybe, say, 30 seconds to 2 minutes of gameplay to then have a cutscene play for, again, 30 seconds to a minute and a half. And that will repeat for the next 20 minutes. And I just started to notice in myself, not necessarily the frustration, but kind of, there was a bit of irritance to it because I was thinking to myself, oh, why am I just not playing the game? And that's what's made me realize and think about this. And when I'm saying this, it doesn't mean that I'm right when I'm talking about how they should or should not be delivered. It is very much on each game to figure that out. But I did just notice that the feeling of that from a pacing point of view has changed dramatically over the years that games have obviously been growing, advancing, and learning. And I think that's such a huge change I didn't even realize until going back and playing certain games and just thinking, wow, a lot of this has changed quite a bit. And cutscenes still deliver great narrative, right? But I also think it's the way that we deliver cutscenes now with the switch between in-game cameras and cutscene cameras almost feeling seamless. If you look at God of War and how they used the camera that's it's a one-shot camera, all the way through. It blends in seamlessly. Uncharted does some great ones, and probably many more that I'm forgetting at this time period. And I think that's just such a big part of it as well, is that we're starting to want to see more camera tricks. Not that we didn't see it. I think cutscenes have pioneered and obviously used a lot of cinematography throughout games, even back in the PlayStation, even prior to that with 2D games as well. But I've been listening to a podcast on Valorant Story, which is an old PlayStation 1 game. I feel like now this is turning to the ramblings of an old man who's like, oh, PlayStation, all these old games. But what I'm saying is more of a example of just learning from the past. And yes, it is by Resonant Arc. They're currently doing a playthrough of the Vagrant Story. And if you see that, I said the original Metal Gear Solid, all of them play with different camera tricks, but now we're kind of seeing them being used in our gameplay to almost make them feel like there is no need for a separation. I think environmental storytelling has grown leaps and bounds, and that the dialogue systems, the fact that you have stuff like Uncharted 4 with the Jeep scene and how they all talk with one another, is a new way that we're seeing many people delete, that's not the right word, deliver dialogue for their story. And as going back to Elden Ring and the Blood Souls series, having items, there's always been audio logs that you can find, but I think more games are leaning heavily into that. Metal Gear Solid 5, if you look, I believe most of their story, if I'm remembering correctly, actually was delivered through audio logs, so players could miss it. And in the book, though, it was a really interesting point that Ross brings up about how story obviously plays a key now. There are other different types of games, multiplayer. I see the trailers for Fortnite, and there seems to be some sort of overarching story, but I don't know if that actually impacts gameplay, as I haven't played in a long time. Overwatch, I think, has been doing some, or started. I don't know if it was just them who did find this way to work, but when you select characters and other players' characters match on the same team, they'll have some back and forth between them showing their history, as well as that of their environmental storytelling throughout the spaces as well, and that of characters commenting on certain spaces around them if their character has a big narrative reveal or interesting point to say in being there. And I know this is kind of just a rambling of a madman to it, but I said I'm pushed on time to get this done. But the other thing was I just wanted to talk about, again, just how it's changed. And that doesn't mean we get rid of cutscenes. It doesn't mean any of that when I'm talking about it. What I'm referring to when I'm mentioning this is how pacing has evolved, how storytelling has evolved with it. And it will be even more fascinating to see where it goes from here. And the last point I want to make on how narrative is delivered is also with the mechanics themselves. A great example for this is the DMW from Crisis Core, which shows the emotional state of Zack as he's fighting different enemies. And this is delivering information on how Zack feels from the start of a mission to an end of a mission. But it also builds a connection as we as players get to see his memories of his loved ones motivate him to become enraged, to heal himself, all these elements, right? And we can definitely have a debate, and maybe I should do a whole episode one day on the DMW itself and what it got right, where did it go wrong, etc. But it is still a great example of how mechanics tie into the narrative. And I'm just saying I love seeing how all of these incredible designers, developers create these and how we constantly advance. If there's anything that you've seen out there that you think would be great for others to understand that have improved narrative and storytelling, then please leave a comment down below, email in to show all of that. I'd love to hear other ones. As I said, I don't think I got as much time as I would have loved to have had while making this episode, but I just wanted to share with you all nonetheless. So thank you all very much. If you do want to reach out to me, you can do so on Twitter, which is @MaxPairs. If you want to email into the show with any guests or anything you want to discuss or think worth talking about, you can do so at leveldesignlobby@gmail.com. And finally, if you want to support the show, and thank you to all those who already do, please head over to patreon.com/leveldesignlobby. Alright everyone, take care, and I'll catch you all next time.